Everyone who has ever lived, from pro athletes to accountants, has had to eat food to sustain themselves. With so many people unable to cook extravagant meals for friends and family, it is important to have at least one show-stopping meal that you can make at any time. This is important because the dish that will impress most people who you make it will impress most people you make it for, and will provide you with satisfaction of providing a meal to people you care about the most. Today I will be demonstrating how to make a shrimp Asiago pasta dish, beginning with the ingredients and utensils you will need. Then we will discuss the directions on how to put this dish together, and then finally I will tell you some ways you can modify the ingredients in this recipe based on your own personal preferences. To begin, let's get informed about this recipe I will be demonstrating to you today. The ingredients for this recipe are 1 box of bow tie pasta, 12 ounces of small shrimp, 3 bell peppers, 4 ounces of Parmesan cheese, 6 ounces of Asiago cheese, 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, 3 garlic cloves, half of a small yellow onion, 1 zucchini, 1 squash, 4 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, and salt and pepper to taste. The utensils you will need for this recipe are 1 strainer in order to drain the cooked pasta, 1 spoon for stirring the sauce, 1 pair of tongs to flip the shrimp, and 1 knife to cut the veggies. The recipe will run the average person around 20 minutes of prep time and 20 minutes of cook time, leading to a quick meal that will stun your friends, family, and yourself. Now that we are familiar with the ingredients and utensils needed for this dish, let me turn your attention to the steps of this recipe that allow us to bring the materials together. First, start with a small to medium pot of boiling water, about 6 cups, onto the stove. Cook pasta according to the box time, which for my chosen bow tie pasta was around 11 minutes, or to whatever is needed. Nextly, thinly slice the vegetables, including the bell pepper, the zucchini, the squash, the onion, and finally chop the garlic. Shred the cheese as well. Just like that. Start a pan on medium-high heat with the olive oil and half the butter. This should take around 45 seconds to a minute, depending on your stove. And once hot, add the shrimp and let cook for 8 minutes, making sure to get both sides done. Follow that by then adding half of the chopped garlic and cook until fragrant. Remove from the pan and set the shrimp aside. Right there. Okay. And let me find my spot here. Using the juices from the shrimp remaining in the pan, turn it to medium-low heat and add onion and cook until translucent. Then add the sliced bell pepper, and after around 3 minutes, add the remaining garlic, zucchini, and squash. After another 3 to 5 minutes of cook time, add the cream and allow the mixture to simmer. Once 5 minutes or so has passed, add the cheese and reduce to low heat. Finally, add the cooked shrimp and then cook your pasta add your cooked pasta to the pan and stir with the sauce. Remove from heat and your shrimp Asiago dish is ready to serve. It is best to serve immediately and to sprinkle cheese on top to improve the flavor. Now that you know the recipe and my favorite way of cooking it, I wanted to provide you with more ways to make the recipe your own. Here we go. There's some of the steps: adding the cream, adding the cheese. That's it complete. In the pot and then in the bowl with the garnish of cheese on top. Instead of using shrimp as the protein, you could very easily use chicken thighs, which are much more flavorful than normal chicken breast. If you're someone who can handle an elevation in spice levels, you can add 1 to 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper if you want to add a little spice to the dish. The vegetables are also a great place to customize this recipe and make it feel more like your own. You can take out the zucchini and squash or bell peppers and substitute with mushrooms or broccoli as a great choice. With all this in mind and your belly's probably grumbling, let me remind you of all that we talked about to bring this recipe to life. With so many people unable to cook extravagant meals for their friends and family, it's important to have at least one show-stopping meal that you can have in your back pocket as a go-to dish. Today I demonstrated how to make a shrimp Asiago pasta dish that I make all the time, beginning with the ingredients and utensils you will need. We then discussed the directions and how to put this dish together step by step. Then I brought forth examples on how to customize this dish in a variety of different ways to make the pasta that I enjoy with my family, one that you can take home and enjoy with yours. I hope that I've showed you all today how to cook a special meal for those you care about that doesn't take too much time or effort to put together and is something that everyone should enjoy.